Making English easy for everyone.
Speak English with Jay and May.
Hey, English learners. Welcome back to Speak English with Jay and May, your cozy little place to build your English confidence. I'm May.
Hello, May, and hello, everyone. I'm Jay. How are you today, May?
I'm doing really well, Jay. Actually, something funny happened to me this morning. I was reading some messages from our listeners, and I saw so many similar mistakes, like the exact same ones, over and over again.
Oh, really? What kind of mistakes?
Grammar mistakes, basic ones. And you know what? Even advanced learners make them. So today, we're talking about 12 common basic English grammar mistakes and how to fix them.
Oh, I love this topic. Honestly, I think I've made some of these mistakes myself.
Don't worry, Jay. That's exactly why we're here. And listeners, if you're thinking, oh no, do I make these mistakes? Don't worry. By the end of today's episode, you're going to feel so much more confident.
Yes. And hey, real quick, if this podcast helps you even a little bit, please subscribe, share it with a friend, turn on notifications, and give us a like. It really helps us keep making episodes every single day for you.
Every single day. Okay, Jay, are you ready to dive in?
Let's go.
All right, mistake number 1. This is probably the most common one ever. People say, I am agree with you.
Wait, I am agree? What's wrong with that?
So, agree is already a verb, right? You don't need am before it. The correct sentence is, I agree with you. Simple, clean, done.
Oh, so it's like saying, I am go to the store. That sounds wrong too, right?
Exactly. I am go. Yeah, that's the same kind of mistake. When you use a verb, you don't always need am, is, or are before it.
Okay, that makes sense. What's mistake number 2?
Number 2, using a and an incorrectly. People say apple or an dog. You've heard this, right?
Yes, I think I learned this in school. And goes before a vowel sound?
Exactly. An apple, an umbrella, an hour. Wait, here's the interesting part. An hour. The H is silent, so it sounds like it starts with a vowel. So we say an hour, not a hour.
Whoa, that one trips people up for sure. I didn't think about silent letters.
Right? English is sneaky like that, but just remember it's about the sound, not the spelling.
The sound, not the spelling. Got it. Okay, number 3?
Number 3, she don't like coffee. You hear this all the time.
You mean like people forget to use doesn't with she, he, and it?
Yes, with third-person singular, she, he, it, you always use doesn't, not don't. So the correct sentence is, she doesn't like coffee.
Why do people make this mistake so much?
Because in many languages, there's no difference. You just use one word for don't with everybody. So when people learn English, they carry that habit over.
Oh, so it's like a habit from your first language sneaking in.
Exactly. We call it language interference, and it's totally normal. You just have to train your brain to remember. Third person, add the S, and use doesn't.
Doesn't, not don't. Okay, I'll remember that. Number 4?
Number 4, and this one is super common, mixing up make and do, like I need to do a decision.
Do a decision? What should it be?
Make a decision. You make a decision, you make a mistake, you make a plan. But you do your homework, you do your best, you do the dishes.
How do people know which one to use?
Honestly, a lot of it is just memory and practice. But a simple way to think about it, make is usually about creating or producing something. Do is about actions or tasks.
Oh, so you make a cake, but you do the cooking.
Kind of. Yes, you're getting it.
Okay. What's number 5?
Number 5, I have 20 years old.
Oh, I've definitely heard this one. The correct way is I am 20 years old, right?
Yes, in English, we use the verb to be, I am, you are, he is, for age. But in many other languages, you actually use the verb to have, so people translate directly and say, I have 20 years.
That's so interesting. So the mistake happens because of direct translation.
Exactly. And direct translation is one of the biggest sources of English mistakes. Always think in English. Don't just translate from your language word by word.
Think in English. I love that advice. Okay, what's mistake number 6?
Number 6, using since and for incorrectly. People say, I have lived here since 5 years.
You mean like since and for are different?
Yes, since is for a specific point in time, since 2019, since Monday, since I was a child. But for is for a duration, a length of time, for 5 years, for 2 hours, for a long time.
Oh, so it's I have lived here for 5 years, not since 5 years.
Perfect, you got it. And here's a little trick. If you can answer the question, how long, use for. If you can answer, when did it start, use since.
That is such a clean way to remember it. Okay, we're halfway through. Number 7?
Number 7, and this one makes me laugh every time. People say, I am boring.
Wait, I am boring? That means you are a boring person?
Right? What they actually want to say is, I am bored. Bored means you feel that way. Boring means you cause that feeling in others.
So if I say I am boring, I'm basically saying I'm a terrible person to talk to.
Basically, yes. This is where things change. The ed versus ing ending totally flips the meaning. I'm excited versus it's exciting. I'm confused versus it's confusing.
Wow, one letter, one ending changes everything. That's kind of crazy.
It really is. So always ask yourself, am I describing how I feel? Use ed. Am I describing the thing that causes the feeling? Use ing.
That's really helpful. Okay, number 8.
Number 8, he is more taller than me.
Something sounds off there. You can't use more and together.
Exactly right. It's called a double comparative. You either say, he is taller than me, or for longer words, he is more intelligent than me, but never both together. More taller is wrong.
So it's one or the other, not both.
One or the other. Short adjectives get Tall becomes taller. Fast becomes faster. Long adjectives get more. Beautiful becomes more beautiful. Expensive becomes more expensive.
Oh, that's actually pretty simple once you see the pattern.
Right? English grammar can actually be logical when someone explains it the right way.
Okay, number 9. What do we have?
Number 9. This one is huge for beginners. Forgetting to use articles. People say, I want to eat apple, or she has cat.
You mean they forget to say an apple or a cat?
Yes, in some languages like Russian, Japanese, Korean, there are no articles at all. So learners from those languages often drop a, an, and the completely.
Oh, wow. So the article just doesn't exist in their first language.
Right. And then when they speak English, the brain just skips it. But in English, articles are really important. I saw a dog. Any dog. I saw the dog, a specific dog we both know about.
Oh, so a and the actually carry meaning. They tell us if something is new or specific?
Exactly. You're explaining it better than me now, Jay.
I learned from the best. Okay, number 10.
Number 10, and this is where things get really interesting. Using the wrong verb tense. Like someone tells a story and says, "Yesterday I go to the market and I buy some vegetables."
So they're using present tense for a past story?
Yes, when you talk about things that already happened yesterday, last week, in 2020, you need the simple past tense. I went to the market. I bought some vegetables.
I think this happens because the verb changes can be confusing, like go becomes went. That's not even similar.
Right, irregular verbs. Go becomes went, buy becomes bought, eat becomes ate. These are just things you have to memorize over time. There's no shortcut, honestly.
Okay, that's fair. Practice, practice, practice. What's number 11?
Number 11. Can you explain me the answer?
That feels a little off. Shouldn't it be explain the answer to me?
Yes. With the verb explain, you can't put the person directly after it. You need to. Explain it to me, not explain me it.
Wait, so explain me is wrong, but tell me is right?
Oh, you won't believe how many people ask that exact question. Yes, tell me is correct. Explain to me is correct. They follow different grammar rules. Tell takes a person directly. Explain needs to first.
That's a really subtle difference. I can see why people get confused.
And that's why context and reading a lot in English helps so much. The more you read and listen, the more your brain learns what sounds natural, even without thinking about the rule.
Okay, we saved the last one for now. Number 12. What is it?
Number 12, and this one is absolutely everywhere. I will call you yesterday.
Wait. I will call you yesterday? That doesn't even make sense logically.
I know, but it happens. People mix up will and would, or they mix up future and past signals together. Will is for the future. Yesterday is the past. You can never use them together.
So the correct version would be, I called you yesterday?
Exactly. And you know, this mistake often happens when someone is nervous or speaking too fast. Their brain gets mixed up between what they planned to say and what actually came out.
That's actually really relatable. When I'm nervous, I mix things up too.
We all do, and that's totally okay. The key is slow down, breathe, and think about your time marker. Is it past, present, or future? Match your verb to that.
Past, present, future. Match the verb. That's such a solid tip.
All right, so we just went through all 12. Let's do a super quick recap, Jay. You ready?
Ready.
Number 1, I agree, not I am agree. Number 2, an before vowel sounds, a before consonant sounds.
Number 3, she doesn't, not she don't. Number 4, make a decision, not do a decision.
Number 5, I am 20, not I have 20. Number 6, for with duration, since with a start point.
Number 7, I am bored, not I am boring. Number 8, don't use more and ER together.
Love it. Number 9, don't forget articles, a, an, the. Number 10, past stories need past verb forms. Number 11, explain it to me, not explain me it. Number 12, match your verb to your time, past, present, or future.
That felt so good to say all 12.
You know what's funny? When I first started paying attention to these mistakes, I realized I had been making some of them myself for years, and I'm a native speaker. So truly, nobody is perfect.
Wait, really? Even native speakers?
Oh, absolutely. Native speakers make grammar mistakes all the time in casual conversation. The difference is we don't stress about it. We just keep talking. And that's the energy we want you to have too.
That's so reassuring to hear, honestly.
Right? And listeners, imagine this. You're writing an email to your boss tomorrow, or having a conversation with a new friend. If you remember even 3 or 4 of these tips, your English is already going to sound so much more natural and confident.
That's really true. Small fixes, big difference.
Exactly. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to keep improving, one mistake at a time.
I love that. One mistake at a time.
And hey, we want to hear from you. Here's our question for today. Which of these 12 mistakes have you made before? Or which one surprised you the most? Tell us in the comments below. We read every single one.
Yes, drop your answer down there. We love hearing from you. It honestly makes our day.
And if this episode helped you, share it with one friend who's learning English. Just one. That one share could change someone's English journey.
Such a good reminder. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for spending time with us today.
We'll be back tomorrow with another episode, because yes, we make a new episode every single day just for you. Until then, keep practicing, keep speaking, and remember,
Your English is getting better every single day. We believe in you.
see you tomorrow, English learners. Bye.
Bye, everyone.